Everyone in my area avoids that road. They avoid it, not because it's dangerous, not because people get robbed there, not because accidents happen. They avoid it because it saves time. And in our part of the world, anything that saves time usually takes something else. The road is a narrow stretch of cracked tar that cuts between two neighborhoods. On the map, it looks harmless. It reduces a 40-minute journey to 15. But no Okada rider uses it. No keke passes there. Even in the afternoon, people would rather take the long way and arrive tired than pass through that place. When I was a child, my mother used to warn me, don't walk there alone. And if you ever pass there, don't look back. I asked her why. She said, that road doesn't like people. That was all the explanation she ever gave. As I grew older, I heard stories, always in low voices, always with people looking around before speaking. A man who used it and came home, but his wife said he started calling their son by the wrong name. A woman who took it, and her own mother began calling her auntie. A boy who passed there and his dog barked at him for 3 days like he was a stranger. Nobody ever said what the road took. Only that people came back, not exactly the same. I stopped believing those things when I moved to the city. Life in the city teaches you to laugh at old fears. Everything becomes stress, traffic, deadlines, noise. Superstition feels like a luxury. Yesterday evening, I was coming back from work late. The sky was already turning the color of burnt charcoal. My phone was dying, and I was exhausted in a way that goes deeper than the body. I stood at the junction. The long road was crowded, noisy, slow. The shortcut was right there. Quiet, empty, waiting. I remembered the stories. I even laughed at myself. It's just a road, I said, and I entered. The first strange thing was the silence. In our area, there is always sound. Generators, shouting, radios. Somewhere, always a baby crying or a bus honking. But inside that road, it was like someone had turned the world's volume down. My footsteps sounded too loud. The trees on both sides leaned inward like they were listening. I walked and walked. After a while, I realized something was wrong. The road should take 5 minutes. I had been walking much longer. The light felt dull, like evening was frozen in place. No breeze, no insects, no birds. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I stopped. They stopped. I turned. There was nobody there. I laughed again, but my mouth was dry. I continued walking. At some point, I became aware of a strange thought in my head. Have I always been walking here? Then suddenly, I was out. Just like that. I was standing on my street. Noise returned, light returned, life returned. I checked the time. Only 12 minutes had passed. I told myself I was foolish, and I went home. My house was there, the gate was there, the door was there, my furniture was there. But the moment I stepped inside, something felt wrong. Not broken, not destroyed, just wrong. The air felt heavy, like a room people had been arguing in. The sitting room was exactly the same, except the sofa was slightly to the left than I remembered. The family photo on the wall was straight, but I was sure it used to be tilted. The clock on the wall sounded too loud. Tick, tick, tick. That night, I slept badly. I kept dreaming that I was standing outside my own house, watching someone who looked like me sit inside. In the morning, my wife looked at me for a long time before speaking. "You didn't sleep well?" she asked. "Yes," I said. She kept staring. At breakfast, my son greeted me, then paused. "Daddy, you look different." I laughed. "How?" He shook his head. "I don't know." At work, 2 people asked if I was sick. One asked if I had traveled. When I checked myself in the mirror, I looked normal, but I did not feel normal. It was like my emotions were behind glass. Everything was familiar, but nothing felt like mine. The real fear started 3 days later. I reached for my son's hand as we were crossing the road. He pulled away and said, quietly, "Why do you hold my hand like that?" I froze. That night, my wife said something that broke something inside me. "You came back, but you didn't come back the same." I asked her what she meant. She said, "It's like you remember us, but you don't belong to us anymore." That was when the old stories came back. The road doesn't take your body. It takes something else. Now I sit in my house. Everything is mine, but nothing feels like home. Sometimes I catch my family looking at me when they think I'm not watching. Sometimes I look at them and feel like I am the visitor. And sometimes I think the road did not change me. Sometimes I think I am the one who came back, and the real me is still walking there. Everyone in my area avoids that road. It saves time, but it takes something else. And sometimes it doesn't take you. It replaces you.